Hey guys, Chris here with Blue Z Water, talking with our founder Andrew Scheim. We're going to talk about a few supplements here and Blue Z Water and how they all work together to have a great regimen on joint and connective tissue health.
Great,
Go ahead and
thanks.
tell us about these we got.
Okay, so once again, I want to get a little personal. I'm a tennis player, and I've definitely tried pretty much everything I know, and I'm able to actually treat myself on a daily basis. And I like to play a lot of tennis, so I have to recover quickly, and I'm 61. So anybody who's in my 30s, I was actually recovering slower. So if your skill set's high enough, there's some amazing things you can do. So beyond just doing self-body work, the health of the connective tissue, as there are certain supplements out in the market that I've used over time, and some of them are displayed here. Now what I found is these worked okay in the past, but once I got on the Blue Z Water, one day, my IT band was a little tight, and I've had this for about 10 years because I play a lot of tennis, and I've done a lot of body work, but I never could quite get over completely resolve it. So I said, I'm going to revisit. In fact, I called a buddy of mine, went over the regimen, and, I said, does this really work? Does that really work? Because, it kind of worked in the past. They said, no, give it a try. Well, when I combined these supplements with being on the water for about, let's say, 8-9 months, it was amazing. The response was tenfold. In other words, they really worked. And by the way, in general, I have found that the longer you're on the water, if you revisit any protocol for any part of your body, they're going to work way better. So that's why we have our slogan, everything works better with Blue Z Water. So before I get into this, let me briefly say why everything works better with Blue Z Water. Very simple. Once you detoxify every cell in your body and feed it these incredible minerals and provide super hydration, the 3 features of this water, the cell becomes so much more receptive to an adjunctive protocol. The cell is more awake, it's more alive, it's more vibrant, so when you feed it a nutrient, it's going to work way better. That's just simple. So the water really wakes the body back up, and you become younger, and then when you need that extra support of these various regimens, number one, you might do it for, let's say, 2 or 3 months and then back off. But when you do it, they're going to work way better. So it changes, it's a game changer. So let me go through some of these supplements and just briefly explain how they work. My favorite joint supplements that I do personally are serrapeptase. This is like a Pac-Man that goes through the body and eats everything. It originally comes from silkworms that eat through their cocoon. So it's probably the best enzyme for connective tissue joint problems, and even people like with blocked arteries. It literally eats everything up. Now the water itself does that. There are case histories of people getting rid of kidney stones with the water, just taking the water. So the water naturally eats things up. So this is now having a second factor of eating away debris, and it's amazing how deep this goes. So this is for eating away all inflammation, and it's great for connective tissue, scar tissue. It's called serrapeptase. Now, other digestive enzymes are used, and those of you who are doing regimens might have an enzymatic formula in your joint and tissue formula. In fact, here's one. It's called Flex Connect, and it has enzymes, including the primary one being serrapeptase. In addition, some of the other anti-inflammatories and natural products that are typical, you've probably heard of, a turmeric, boswellian. Those are the 2 main ones. This one has horse chestnut, ginger. There are various herbs, but turmeric's probably the number 1 people have heard of. Now, for lubrication, I'm sure many of you, it's this one here, many of you have taken chondroitin sulfate and glucosamine sulfate. They're lubricants. They help lubricate the joints. This one is called, this is one of my favorite. It's sort of an advancement in that arena, and it's called hyaluronic acid. This is actually from Vitacox. You can buy it anywhere. And this one has collagen, hydrolyzed collagen, chondroitin sulfate, and hyaluronic acid. It's a combo. But this is an extremely good lubricant. So again, this is like eating away the garbage, and this helps to bring more lubrication back. Now, of course, the water is super hydrated, so it's already an amazing lubricant. So that when you team them up together, you get an exponential effect. Okay, MSM sulfur, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that. Used for cleaning tissue, healing tissue. It has many other healing benefits, which you can Google. Now, this is what I found with the water. The water is ionic sulfate minerals. This is MSM sulfur. So your need for MSM sulfur will vastly reduce the longer you're on the water. But for those of you who already love MSM sulfur, what I suggest is stay with it. But the longer you're on the water, if you notice you need less of it, don't worry, don't panic. The water is essentially providing you with incredible ionic sulfate minerals, so you're going to need less of MSM sulfur. So you can use it, but you don't have to stay married to it. I found that I vastly reduced the sulfur. So pay attention to your body. You know, as a practitioner, I advocate that you learn to check in with your body. So however you intuitively say, well, do I need this or don't need this? You know, your intuition over time is going to say, probably you need less of this. So these are, now if you have your favorite regimen, there's, you know, for instance, celery seed extract is a relaxes muscles. There's many herbs, there's many compounds out there. So whatever you're using, if you add the Blue Z water, it's going to work way better because the nutrients are going to be delivered that much deeper. And the longer you're on the water, the more you remove the toxins from the cell, the more you're hydrating those cells, and the more you're feeding those cells those incredible minerals. These other nutrients are going to thank you and be, you know, delighted to team up with the Blue Z water. If you have any questions, please send me an email and turn it over to Chris here.
Yeah, definitely. Send us an email. Attention Andrew Scheim, info@BlueZWater. We'll post everything in the description below. We'll post all these supplements here as well, so if you guys want to take a look at them, do some research, but everything does work better with Blue Z water. I've seen it in my personal regimens, and it's quite amazing, guys. So please check it out, do some research, bluezwater.com. We'll see you next time, and let's get that connective tissue in those joints healthy and right, and good luck, guys. See you next time.